We need to talk about Emma's drawing. Last week, I got a call from my daughter's elementary school. The teacher's voice was trembling. We need to schedule a meeting. It's urgent. It's about Emma's artwork. That tone, it dropped my stomach to the floor. I thought something awful happened. I rushed over, walked through the front office, and the secretary gave me a look like my dog had died. She just pointed me to the conference room. Inside, the principal, the school counselor, and Emma, my bubbly 7-year-old, happily coloring like it was any normal Tuesday. They'd given her markers to keep her busy. She was totally oblivious to the adult panic in the room. "Mr. Davis," the principal said, not meeting my eyes, "thank you for coming. We have a situation." The counselor, kind-eyed but visibly stressed, slid a paper across the table. Emma had drawn it during free time and apparently showed it off proudly to the entire class. It was wild. A stick figure version of me, same messy brown hair, stood holding what looked like a huge knife. Lying under me was another stick figure with long blonde hair, clearly my wife. Red crayon was everywhere, and scrawled across the top in crooked, innocent handwriting, "Daddy cuts mommy open." The principal cleared his throat. "We had to investigate immediately." I froze. My brain screamed, "Oh my God," but then it clicked. "Emma, sweetie," I said gently, "is this about helping mommy with her surgery demonstration last weekend?" She looked up from her coloring and beamed. "Uh-huh. I told the class how you cut mommy open and saved lives." The 3 adults just blinked at her, confused silence. I smiled, probably the first real smile of the day. "My wife's a trauma surgeon," I explained. "She teaches emergency procedures to med students. Last weekend, she brought home a simulation dummy and a suture kit to demonstrate a C-section technique." I pulled out my phone and showed them a photo of my wife in scrubs next to the dummy, laid out on our dining room table. Emma had sat there the whole time, watching like it was an episode of Grey's Anatomy. I used to be an ER nurse before I changed careers, so sometimes I assist when my wife practices new techniques. I held the light, handed her instruments. Emma thought it was the coolest thing ever. The counselor actually exhaled. "So you were practicing on a dummy, not a person." Before I could even respond, Emma chimed in cheerfully, "Daddy holds the light and gives mommy her tools. The blood isn't real, it's just red goo from bottles. And I get to wear gloves too." "The red goo," I said quickly, "is simulation blood. It's used in training. Totally medical grade, nothing real." Up to this point, Emma's teacher had been silent. Then she finally spoke. "Emma," she said carefully, "you told the class this happens at home all the time." Emma rolled her eyes. "Because mommy brings her doctor stuff home every weekend," she said in that exasperated kid way. "She says practice makes perfect and that's how she saves people." I laughed, couldn't help it. "Yeah, we actually joke about turning the dining room into a simulation lab." The principal coughed. "Well, this is certainly a relief. We're required to look into anything that might suggest harm at home." "Of course," I nodded, "and I'm honestly grateful you take that seriously." On the way home, I gently explained to Emma why the drawing caused so much alarm. She thought about it for a second and said, "But Daddy, mommy does cut people open. That's her job." "Yes, sweetheart," I said, "but she does it at the hospital, not at home, and not to Daddy. Your teachers didn't know the whole story." Emma nodded, then went quiet for a moment. "Is that why Mrs. Peterson looked scared? She thought mommy got hurt?" "Something like that," I said. Since then, Emma's been extremely careful with her artwork. Her next drawing had a big note at the bottom. "This is pretend blood. Mommy only cuts people at the hospital with her doctor knives, not regular knives." Her teacher even texted me yesterday. Apparently, during sharing time, Emma stood up proudly and declared, "My mommy cuts people open, but it's okay because she's a doctor."